Hello, and welcome to Flute Topics, the program covering all things flute. I'm your host, Helen of Helen's Willow Wind, and I'm thrilled to have my friend, Liesbet Leroy, here with me today from the Netherlands. Hello, Liesbet, how are you?
Hi, Helen. I'm fine and I'm so glad to see you. And I'm excited to have a little chat with you today.
I am too. It's been a little too long for us not getting together on Zoom. I mean, I wish we could meet in person. You were here just a while back. You've been here twice. In the time I've known you, you went to Flute Stock and you were also at the World Flute Society and performed there. And I wish I could have made it, but I'm totally across the country. So I didn't get to see you.
It was a shame we didn't meet there, but well, the USA is so big,
Yeah.
so I understand.
Mhm. Well, I
But
have a
maybe
few.
one day I'll get to the east and then we can meet.
Yes, or I'll come see you because I have several friends in your country, so it would be lovely to sort of travel around and maybe get you all together at once because that's what I kind of like
Wow,
doing is, hey
that
everybody,
would be
let's do
awesome.
this. But I know a lot of your story, but there's a lot of your story, of course, that I don't know about how you came to the flute. What were you doing before the flute? I mean, we met each other during COVID, and became fast friends there. And you've just kept going with the flute, and I've picked up little pieces, and you've been on a few of my programs, so I've garnered them as we've gone along. But why don't we start there so everybody knows about your
Okay.
past?
Well, I wasn't that young anymore when the flute came upon my path. So I was born in a big family of 9 kids. Well, in fact, 10 kids, but one died the year I was born. And we all went to music school. We all learned an instrument, and for me, that was a piano. So I really loved music a lot. But then, you grow up and you start working and you get kids, and life gets very hectic. And well, I wasn't very active in making or listening to music anymore. And then around my early 50s, I think, life was so hectic that I really felt the urge to slow down a little. And I started taking yoga classes, and you should know because you're a yoga teacher. And it was so nice, and I really enjoyed the pranayama, the breathing exercises. It made me very calm. And in the beginning, we also chanted a little with the harmonium, and uh, yeah, I really loved it. And I was thinking, why don't I start again with an instrument? But because those breathing exercises were so valuable for me, I wanted to learn to play an instrument where you have to use your breath. So I was thinking of some kind of flute, and I was Googling on my computer, and then suddenly the Native American Style Flute popped up. And I thought, what is this? And I really loved the sound of it. And so, in fact, the flute came to me, it came upon my path, and yeah, it was a coincidence, I think, and it really touched my heart. And I thought, I really want to play that instrument. So that's how it all started. Once you get in touch with that instrument, it does something with you, and it one way or the other, it touches your heart. And for me, um, it was like when I played it, it was like meditating.
Mhm.
When I took yoga classes, I found it sometimes difficult to meditate because what do you do with your thoughts? Huh? You can't not think. You always have thoughts, but you have to observe them as a witness, or you have to let them go. And how do you do that? I think it's quite difficult. But with that flute, when I'm playing, I just don't think. I'm just present in the moment. I play, I listen to the music, and I let it all go. And for me, that is meditation. I can't think of another word for it. And that makes that instrument so powerful, and that makes that instrument so different from other instruments. Also, the fact that you're not playing from tablature. You
Yes.
can play from
Yes.
tablature, but um, I love to play just to improvise and just, see where it goes and just feel it more than play from tablature. Yeah, that's what I love about the instrument.
Well, it's interesting you say for you, listening to it and playing it is meditative because that's one of the reasons I love listening to your playing is because it's very calming and the way you play touches that place in me. And yet when I got the flute, I thought I was going to play blues and do all this and I like rock and roll. And you know what? I'm a very high energy person, you know that. Anybody who knows me knows that. And yet when I play the flute, I slow down. And I'm
Yes,
good with that. And it's comfortable and it's easy. And yet, the second I put the flute down, I'm back to. So I find it that too. I just had a preconceived idea that I was going to rock the flute. And I'm finding I don't want to rock the flute. It sort
yeah,
of rocks me like this instead of me rocking it.
that's
It
so
plays
nice.
you. It plays
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it's so nice to hear. And don't get me wrong, I have all the respect for people who play upbeat and with drums and things like
Hmm.
that. I sometimes did that too, but you all find your way and you all find your own style.
Hmm.
You develop your own style, and some other people have the style of playing upbeat and playing the blues on the flute,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
but I discovered that's not my style, so I developed more into the direction of calming, meditative music. That's
Yeah. And like you said, there's many different styles in how people play it. I was just surprised to find that it plays me.
yeah,
When I pick it up, I stop being all these things and it plays me. And it's you're in control, but you're not. You give over to the flute.
it's you say it plays me. That means that the flute is not the instrument, but you're the
Well,
instrument.
I just never saw that side of me till the flute came. And like
Yeah,
you're saying, it brought out meditative in you, which is something you were looking for and liking from your yoga, having trouble with it, and the flute gave it to you. Or
yeah.
you gave it to yourself through the flute.
Yeah,
It's funny.
I'm very grateful for that.
Hmm.
Uh, but I must say, when I'm all worked up about something and I'm nervous, I find it difficult immediately to play the flute. So I first have to calm down a little, and
Hmm.
then, then it even makes me calmer.
Hmm.
But I have to find that little peace, that little rest before I start playing. It's something, yeah.
So you can't just pick it up and go there. You have to work
When I'm
yourself to.
calm, I can.
Yeah.
But when I'm all, worked up, or how do you say it in English, when I'm nervous about
Hmm.
things, and then, I can start playing, but it takes me longer to calm down then. And when I first, relax a bit and do some breathing exercises, and I start playing then, and
Hmm.
it's nicer, of course. But if I don't, then the flute calms me down in the end. When I
Hmm.
start playing immediately, it will come, I know, but it takes a little longer.
Takes longer.
Yeah.
Well, you use the flute in at yoga places now to help other people find what you found through playing, find
Yeah.
through listening to you.
Yes, that's true. When I just started playing, I did a yoga retreat. I joined a yoga retreat, and then the teacher asked, I took the flute with me. It was on Crete, Greece, one of the
Oh,
islands.
nice.
Yeah. And so I took a flute with me, and I was playing in between the yoga classes. And then the teacher asked me if I wanted to play during Savasana,
Hmm.
when all the people are relaxing, lying down in corpse pose. And I said, well, okay, it wasn't that scary because they had their eyes closed, so they weren't watching me.
That's
And
funny.
because it was my first public performance. But after when they opened their eyes, and I saw um, that, how do you say it? I saw that peace in their eyes, and their faces were so relaxed, you know. That made me so happy that you know, that I could help them just a little bit to get there. It wasn't only the flute, of course. It was the whole
Mm-hmm.
yoga class that had made them
Mm-hmm.
like that. But you know, the flute was just a little cherry on the cake then, and you know, that made me happy. And at that time, I was working less. I also had some health issues, and I was missing my job. I used to be um, an organization consultant,
Mm-hmm.
industrial psychology, and I missed helping people, coaching, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, team building. You know, you're helping people, and I missed that. I missed the feeling I had afterwards. Oh, that gives me a good feeling. And so I thought maybe I can do that with my flute playing. I can still help people in a way. And so that's how I started giving chakra balancing meditation concerts with my
Mm-hmm.
flutes. It was also an excuse to buy more flutes, of course,
Yes,
because then
yes.
I needed 7 flutes for the 7 chakras.
Yeah. We do find our rationale for these things, don't we?
Yes, always an excuse to buy one more
But
flute.
you
Yeah.
know, business-wise, that made sense.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And so I did that quite often in yoga studios. And now I'm taking it more easy again because I find that it's also very, it takes a lot of your body and of your energy. And I used to take my gong with me, 15 kilos and everything. I can't do that anymore. It's too much. Yeah, because
Well, then I feel blessed because you did a program with my group with your gong and your flutes and the chakras, and we all got handouts. And that's a couple of years ago now, I think.
yes,
And
yes,
people still bring up that workshop. And I remember just by the end of it, I was melting in my chair and I've got to say goodbye to everybody, and all I wanted to do is say, mm, you know. Um,
so
so
to,
it's sad you can't bring it with you because I know what a treat that is when you're working the gong and your flutes. And as a matter of fact, you helped me decide on a gong that I got, and it has brought great joy over here for our flute circles classes, whatever we want to use it for. I don't carry it around to my performances because, like you said, it's a lot to carry, you know,
yeah, but you
and to
know,
worry about, and yeah.
yeah, it's true. But you know, talking about the gong, um, it's such a powerful instrument because you know I'm a strong believer in the principles of sound healing and how frequencies work on our bodies. But you can get that with with flute playing, but with the gong, it's so much more powerful because the gong has so many overtones, you
Mhm.
know, and so our body can pick many more frequencies from that than just you know when you're playing the flute, and that makes the gong a very powerful sound healing instrument.
And what I like about the gong, whether I'm playing it or somebody's playing it at my place, you can, there's a physical vibration that comes out in the room. And if you're playing it, you're right there on it, and it actually pulsates as you play it. And that kind of response back is very beautiful, very
Yeah,
beautiful.
feeling is incredible. Yeah, it's
It
true.
definitely keeps you in the moment.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
because you're hearing it, you're feeling it, not only feeling it because you're feeling calmer, but you're actually physically feeling it make it sound. And your combination with the flute is just incredible with the gong.
Thank you.
So, of all the things I just want to bring up as we get into tips and that kind of thing, I'm a technot. And when I started out, I just was convinced myself that I could not do it. I still have difficulties because of that kind of thinking. But what was interesting is I was talking to you one day and you said, well, talk to Dr. Google and Mr. YouTube.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you made it less of a big abyss, scary tech is over there, and you made it sort of, I can't say human because it's tech, but you made it friendly. And that changed everything for me. I want to thank you for that. And the fact that I didn't know, well, what question do I ask? And you said, Helen, ask it all the questions. And I don't know why I had this big wall or block. And I know a lot of us that didn't grow up with tech, it does seem daunting. And you made it seem easy. Not easy, but approachable. I've got the wrong word myself. Accessible. That's a better word. Accessible. And we've had great times with all kinds of things, but you broke down a major wall for me. And
Wow.
now
Nice
you
to
do,
hear.
you do your own recording, mixing. You figure out where the mic should go, which mic, and I'm doing that piecemeal and I'm following along what you're doing. I ask you as well as Dr. Google because I can. And it actually gets to be kind of fun after you get through that roadblock. How did you get there? And had you been a tech person before?
No, I'm a complete noob. Do you say that in English? Noob? Yes, huh? The
I call
noob?
it a newbie.
A newbie, yeah.
Yeah.
With regard to technology, but it was out of necessity because when I was giving those chakra balancing meditation concerts, the people asked me, do you maybe have a CD so we can listen at home? Can you make an album, a physical CD? And I said, no, I'm sorry, but I will, yeah, think about it, how I can make it happen. But I had no one to help me. So I started Googling, asking Dr. Google, how do you make a physical CD and what do you need for that? And how do I use GarageBand to record, things like that. And also Mr. YouTube. Mr. YouTube was also a very good friend of mine at that time. And now I have three friends.
Oh,
I've made another good friend, and that is Mr. ChatGPT. But I'll tell you about that later.
oh yeah, yeah, please. I have no clue. Opened another door here.
Yeah. So I just Googled, I watched little films on YouTube, and I just started. If you don't do anything, you won't accomplish anything. So I just started, and I made mistakes, and it was all very simplistic. Because when I listened to my physical CD, the only one I made, when I listen to it now, I think, oh my God, did I make that? I hear all kinds of things I would do differently now, and I would make the backing tracks more complex and things like that. But it's been all a process of learning, 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 and I didn't have anyone. Also for flute playing, I learned it through the internet because Johnny, our big friend
Johnny
with his
Lipford. Yeah.
Horizons school, he didn't have any school back then, so yeah, I had to find out myself.
Even Ladybird's all impressed that we're talking about Johnny. Do you hear her? she's, she's liking this part of the conversation, which is
She loves
smart bird.
Johnny.
Yeah.
She loves Johnny like we all do.
Yes, 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 she
Yeah.
does.
So, but I'm glad I could help you with that because, I do it with everything. When my bike is broken or something breaks or my television doesn't work, I just, yeah. Now I ask ChatGPT. It's a bit, yeah, it's a bit, um, ChatGPT does all the work. For Mr. Google, you have to ask very
Yeah,
specific questions.
yes.
But yeah, you can ask ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT starts asking more and more questions to make it clear. what it is you really want.
I hadn't heard of this
Really good.
program.
Yeah. Many people use it now, even uh, technical noobs like me. But
Well, I'm going to
yeah,
put that on my list of things to check out. Thank you. Yeah. What would be the one thing you would want to feed yourself that picked up the flute, wanted to play, but didn't know what you were doing?
okay. So what would I tell myself when it's
Yeah.
first time I would play that flute? Um,
What would you tell that person now?
yes, I would say you can't make any mistakes with that flute, you know? Just play it, and if something doesn't sound right, play it again. Then it will sound right. Because yeah, in the beginning you're nervous. That's with everything. With everything you learn to do, you're afraid to make mistakes. But there's no way to make mistakes with the Native American style flute because it's just, one of the advantages, of course, is that you're playing the pentatonic minor scale, and so you can play anything you want, and it will always sound right. And so I think it's an instrument by excellence for people who are, who have never learned to play another instrument, who are starting, to play an instrument. And I would say to myself, can't go wrong. Just play what you feel. You have to be careful that you put your fingers on the holes, of course.
Yeah,
But for the rest, if you master that, then you can play whatever you want. So don't worry. I mean, it will always sound right because you're playing yourself, you're playing you. That's what I would tell myself.
and how do you feel about that person that picked up the flute? How do,
I'm
how do
very,
you how do you feel about the fact that you did it? That you got yourself to where you are now? How does that
yeah,
feel?
I'm very grateful. I'm really grateful. I would have never expected back then because it's now um, um, 11 years ago that I started. Yeah, 2014. Yeah. So I'm really grateful that I got now where I am. And back then, I would never have expected that I would have been recording music 10 or 14 years later. It was, and for me, it is a means. What I like to do is to touch people's heart with my music. And streaming music now, so uploading it to all the streaming services, for me, it's a way to touch many more hearts than I could ever have done in a yoga studio, for instance.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah. So I'm grateful, and in a way, I'm proud that I am where I am now. Um, and it wouldn't be me if I didn't have to always find the balance between, relax and work because, recording music is also a lot of hard work. Not only the recording, but also the promoting of your music and everything. And so I have to be careful that I find the right balance because there's more things in life than, you know, playing the flute, of course. Huh?
Yeah.
You have
That's a great point because the learning curve in playing the flute is one thing. The learning curve using tech is another thing. Putting
yeah,
them together to record in all the variables because what we hear out here and then you put on the mic and record and then hear it back is so different. It's just like if you're used to how your voice sounds to you, but then you set up your answering machine for your phone and you listen back and you go like, who's that person? It doesn't sound like what we hear. And you've navigated all that. And it's a whole different skill set.
Yes, because along the way I also learned to make my own backing tracks and things like that with a MIDI keyboard, and it's a lot of studying with Mr. YouTube, of course.
Yes.
But it's a lot of studying and trial and error, and there's still really a lot I still have to learn. But
Hmm.
that's what makes it interesting. I love learning. I love developing.
And
Yeah.
see, that's the thing. And that's why you've taken off with it, with the tech more and so forth. Everybody's got their own trajectory and their own time. But it is all about taking that one step, taking that one bite, digesting it, sorting that out before you just try to do it all at once. It comes as a step. And maybe not everybody's going to want to record. Maybe some people will love to play in a yoga studio. Some people will want to go on stage. Some people will want to be a roving musician or have, my favorite way to perform. I do stage work and I play, but I make sure that every place that I play, be it, the different shows that I do, different types, that there's always audience participation, that they come up on stage and play with me on the other instruments and I play with them. And everybody's going to find, how do you fly when you play the flute? That's what feeds me. That's the
Yeah.
most exciting thing for me in the whole wide world when I play my flute. Not
Yeah.
when I'm playing it, but when I invite other people in and we become a little improv band. I-
Yeah,
You know?
that's what I love too, improvising with other people.
Yeah.
I also love playing in yoga studios, the chakra balancing concerts, because then you really feel the connection with the people. Some people even start crying, or
Yes.
you have direct contact. And what I also love much more than recording music, because I do that to be able to share in the end, but what I love much more is just play outside in nature,
Hmm.
at the seaside or in the woods, or just be with myself and the birds and nature and hearing the waves of the ocean, and then play the flute. That's for me the ultimate relaxation.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And that's where the flute and you really speak together, right?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, then
And
we're
then you
just
come back and you distill it and put it into a CD maybe, but you feed yourself. And that's the
yeah,
thing because I think a lot of people want to study it and get everything right and do all these different things they can do with it. And they lose that. I always tell people that the one thing about the flute is to always think of it as your toy. Explore it
yeah,
like with childlike abandon. Play with it. Do strange things on it. Just if you don't keep that or the wandering into the woods or the ocean where you feel connected to playing,
yeah,
I don't believe in ruts. Plateaus happen, but if you run into a rut when you're playing, a lot of times you've been digging a hole.
yeah,
And you have to
yeah,
do like you said, find that balance where you
yeah.
just play for yourself again.
Yeah, for me, it isn't just an instrument, it isn't just a flute. I see it also part of the Native American culture.
Hmm.
And what I really love about that culture is the connectedness with nature.
Hmm.
And that flute is also, I think, it is a spiritual instrument in a way for people who believe in that. But I believe in it, and you know, uh, I've seen many dear ones pass, and for me also, flute playing is a way to make connection with them when I'm outside in nature.
Yeah,
That's yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And I know we both love our connections when we play and the response we get from animals, be it a bird in a tree, my parrot who's on several of my songs. I know you have Oscar and he responds, horses, dogs, cats. I had some llamas just they were at an exhibition and everything's very chaotic. And they were, chaotic looking around there. Llamas tend to spit, sort of like a
yes.
camel to show their aggravation. And I picked up my flute and just wandered over and started playing it. And they started looking around and they laid right down and went to sleep.
Oh wow,
So I was like, okay. So I could look at it as I bored them to death, or they were able to let go of all this stuff that was kept them sort of hyper vigilant, and they let it
Yeah.
go.
Wow. That's a great
But
story.
you've had stories like that, and people, the people who respond to the point where they weren't expecting it, of course, and neither were you, and the tears just flow. And they probably can't even describe why it was, but it doesn't matter.
It's a release, releasing emotions, releasing, crying is releasing things that are cropped up inside, and
Mm.
you can let them go at that moment. Yeah, and
And it's
that's
good
beautiful.
to let them go, or else you turn into a volcano.
Yeah,
Everything builds up.
a
Now,
spitting llama.
yeah, you become a spitting alarm. Hey, there's another little phrase for us. So you would tell this self when you started what you had to say. Now, what do you tell yourself now when you go to play your flute? I heard you say you try to find that calm place first, and if you don't, it will come to you if you play. Um, what do you remind yourself when you go to play? When your mind starts to think I should be recording or doing this or doing that, does that still happen to you, that the I shoulds, or are you able to just play your flute?
Yes, it depends on um, where I'm playing the flute.
Mhm.
When I have deadlines that I need to finish an album before, a certain date, or then the have to comes into my mind quite a bit.
Mhm.
And but when I'm playing, when I'm recording, then I just, I close my eyes and I just let it go. Then I'm in the moment, and then I'm not thinking about, oh man, I need to finish this album, or but before that, before starting, I sometimes still have that. But when I'm out playing in nature, it's the most relaxing thing I've ever had. Mm,
And that's more important than the recording, isn't it? No matter
yeah,
what we want to do with our music, that's
yeah,
what it's really all about.
yes, and that's what I meant by balance. You have to
Mhm.
find balance between things you have to do and between things you can enjoy. And
And are you one of those wonderful people that always takes the flute with you everywhere you go?
especially on my travels, I take flute with me. And if it's not possible, I take a small ocarina with me.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I take a flute with me. And
Mhm.
because when I travel, I love to explore the nature in the new countries, and yeah, I love to play my flute then. So yeah, I always take it with me. Yeah.
Yeah, when I think about you, and you have wonderful travels, and where you are in the world, it's easy, you're surrounded places. And like you said, the United States is big. You could travel around here a lot and not leave the country. And sometimes
Yes.
that's good, sometimes it's not. I've been out a couple of times, and it does open your mind more in a way I can't even really fully express. But whenever I think of you out in nature, I think of you at the ocean.
Yeah.
I always do.
That's my favorite place.
Hmm.
When I told my kids, when I die, I want you to spread my ashes in the ocean,
Hmm.
and that's where my father is and my sister, and and
Nice.
yeah, that's where I belong. I
Mhm.
belong in the ocean. In
Well,
the
I belong in the woods and the mountains, so we've got everything covered, right?
Yes,
So,
yes, we complement each other. I
yeah.
love the woods too. I love the mountains too, but the
Hmm.
ocean is
Hmm.
really my favorite. Yes.
Aside from all this music, and then we'll get back to tidbits, but we're talking about liking things. We have something else in common that we both love, and when we meet each other, we've made a promise that we're going hat shopping. Do you have your hat there?
Yes.
We didn't want to wear it the whole
When
show, but we
when
both
you're
have.
coming to visit me, we're going hat shopping, and when I come to visit you, we'll go hat shopping.
We'll go hat shopping in Boston and New York.
And then we'll play a drone flute with our
Hmm.
hats on.
Yes, we will, and we will have a grand time. I
Yeah,
really do envision doing that with you. I think it's
that
fun.
would be so wonderful,
'Cause
really.
have you any other tips or ideas or things that would help people with their journey, that would inspire them and let them know that, yeah, it's hard to record. That little red light is annoying or scary, or just pick it up and do it. Play for yourself.
There's one thing I would like to give as a tip. Um, because sometimes people ask me, "Do you teach, online?" And I do. So, and they want to learn to play meditatively. The style I have, and I would like to say, get rid of tablature, get rid of those Nakai taps or whatever it is, and start feeling when you play the flute, start improvising, start listening to yourself. I think yeah, one of the barriers to let the flute have its full power is playing from tablature. That's what I think.
I think that's wonderful. I think everybody should know how to do it for various things, maybe, but that's not where I come from, either myself or my students, because people want to sound like everybody else, so they fit in, oh, this is music I like, so this is how I want to play. And they don't realize they have their own song. They have their own music. And even my worst recording ever, nobody else could play that bad. It's who I am
It's
in that
part,
moment.
yeah, it's part of you. And I
So,
always think it's the Native American style flute is a very special instrument.
yes.
And if you want to play from tablature, that's fine, that's
Mhm.
beautiful. But you can as well play a recorder or the piano or, but that Native American style flute is so special, so spiritual that
Mhm.
I think it's a shame then to use it to play tablature, but that's my
No,
personal
I,
opinion.
I'm there too. Like I said, I think it's got its purpose and some uses, but um, the flute gives you your own voice back. And, a lot of people, that's the first place they learn where their voice is, or the first instrument they've ever played. And the people I have come join me when they play, when they finish, it's like you with the yoga, when they're all relaxed, when they're playing my drums while I'm playing flute with them, and when they finish, and maybe they were told they should stop taking music lessons, or they never did it, and they always wanted to be a rock star or whatever, when they finish, all those thoughts and barriers are gone, and they just are glowing. And it makes me glow watching them, because I remember how that felt when I first picked up the flute. I actually have a picture of the first note I made. It was one note. Jimmy, it was Christmas morning. So Jimmy was there with the camera, my husband, and just snapped the picture. And I played the note, and I looked up at him, not knowing he had the camera. And it is not my most attractive, photo shoot, but it captured everything. The wonder was all in my face.
You
And
didn't
so,
need you didn't need a flash. You were
no,
glowing by
no, my
yourself.
eye, oh, everything was just glowing. And that's
Yeah,
what comes back to me when I play with people, or you were doing the yoga. And that's why I think I agree with you with the tablature. Let your own voice be found.
yeah,
You don't even know you have one. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I can.
yeah.
That's powerful.
That's very powerful. Yes. So that's my final tip.
Well, I think that's a wonderful final tip. And I've enjoyed this. And I know we've got a guest speaker program that we're going to be talking about another time. But for now, I would like to thank you so much. I enjoyed this. It's been too long. I don't want it to be this long again. We're both very busy, but that's no excuse. Um, and for everybody else, I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, happy fluting, everybody. And thank you.